This is my local machine, my laptop, and I would like to use this laptop, the local machine I have, to access a remote server using SSH. However, when I try to open command prompt to use SSH, it doesn't allow me. Why? SSH is not configured on my machine. So how do I do it? How do I configure SSH on my computer to be able to use it for remote access, to access my servers? Now, the first thing I need to do is Windows. There are basically different ways how to configure SSH on Windows. The best way or the most convenient way is to use Windows features, because Windows has extra features that you can install and you're able to use SSH. So how do you access those extra features? Or what you need to do is to right click on Windows icon or Windows logo button, and then you click on apps and features. So you wait as it opens. So these are extra features that you can enable into your Windows. You also click on manage optional features. So here, these are optional features that you can enable or you can remove. You can add all extra features in Windows. I'm using Windows 10 Professional. I don't know which Windows you're using, but I'm pretty sure you can still install or configure SSH in your Windows. Now, these are extra features you can add in your Windows. But what we are interested in is to add SSH feature in our Windows. So what we do is to add a feature. So what add a feature and search for we are searching for Open SSH Client. You can also install Open SSH Server if you want your local machine to be accessed remotely via SSH. But for now, we are interested in connecting using SSH Client. So we click install. It's not going to show you here that it is installing, but all you have to do is to go back. When you go back, it is telling us it is installing here. It is installing Open SSH Client. So let's wait as it installs. Okay, our SSH client has installed on our machine, and as you can see, we have an open SSH client installed on our machine. So make sure that in your Windows you've added this feature to be able to use SSH to remotely log into your servers or other computers that are located somewhere on a network. Now, you can also verify this by using a CMD. You can verify whether your computer has SSH support. So you just type in SSH and hit enter. So you can see that when we enter, when we use SSH command on our CMD, we are seeing different syntaxes that the system provides us to choose to be able to connect to our remote machines. Before that, it wasn't possible to use SSH. Now we can also use this into action. I have a remote server that is deployed on Azure. I have a remote server that is currently deployed on Azure right now. So what we do, it is running an remote operating system. So I'm going to use the IP address for that server to be able to connect to the machine, to the server, using our SSH client that we've just installed. So I copy the IP address and the username for this server I'm currently using. So let's try to connect to it. So the syntax for connecting on SSH remote server is SSH the username for the server, and then the IP address for the server. So in this case, I have the IP address for the server. This is the IP address for the server. This is the login username, and this is the IP address. As you can see, it is 20.51.185.115. And then when you check here, it's the same IP address that is being provided here. So when I hit enter, it's gonna show that I need to put in the login password. So I have the password. When I log in, I put in the password, enter, boom. You can see that now we are I've logged into my server, which is remotely connected somewhere. It is actually located somewhere on a remote server. It is a remote server that is located in some data center that belongs to Azure or Microsoft. Right now I can run different commands for Linux. Since my remote server has Ubuntu operating system or Linux operating system, I can just run any command for Linux. Yeah, so it is showing me commands for Linux. So basically this is how we connect it to our machines using SSH. Just to remind you, if you want to activate SSH on your computer, make sure you go to manage optional features. You just come on the button down here on the Windows, right click, apps and features. So it will bring you here, and then connect, manage optional features. If you have the feature already installed, it will be listed down here. So for us, we have the SSH client already installed. It's already here. But if you don't have it, then you just have to add the feature. You click add, and then you look for it. You search for Open SSH Client. You search, it will be either up or below Open SSH Server. Open SSH Server is the server that we install in a machine, so that it lets us to connect on that machine remotely using SSH. If you want to connect to your computer remotely, you can install this feature, Open SSH Feature Server. If you want to use your computer to connect to other computers remotely, then you have to install Open SSH Client. Thank you for watching this video. I thank you for your support, and I request you to subscribe to this channel and hit that button. Also like the video. Thank you so much.